This is little KDP sit-in, and today I'm doing something a little different. The Kerbal Space Program forums have announced a challenge, and that challenge is to draw a representation of Valentina Tereshkova in the form of a Kerbal. It reads, the goal is to create an image that showcases that our #1 female Kerbonaut, Valentina, is just as badass as Jeb, as ingenious as Bill, or as smart as Bob. Well, when I read that sentence, I thought the obvious answer is that this woman is a badass. She's a badass. Let me tell you why. Let's talk about this woman for a second. Valentina Tereshkova, she wasn't like nobody special really, and that made her special actually. Actually it did. You know, she wasn't classically trained in the ways of space engineering. You know, she came from her daddy got shot down in the war. She dealt with tragedy. She had a lot going on. But she still had spirits. She said she wanted to drive a real big train. She was into stuff like that. And she worked at different jobs. And when she was walking to work, she saw these people that was jumping out. They were parachuting. And she was like, oh, hell yeah. So she joined the parachuting club and she would jump. And she did that all the time because she thought that was just fun. She got her thrills out of that. She was part of a pool of women that they wanted to send a woman into space in Russia. No one on the planet Earth had ever done that before, so she was part of this pool. And she didn't have the most background in the education, but they picked her because she was a badass. When they tested to see how well that they could do, you know, in a confined space and everything. And there was other women that had been pilots in the Russian Air Force. But, you know, even with just the little background that she had and what she'd done jumping out of them parachutes, like, she handled the pressure, man. She could handle it. She could handle it better than anybody. They went through a bunch of tests, and there was another lady, and she was kind of the runner-up. She was a little disappointed she didn't get to, you know, get in a rocket and blast off into space. But, oh, I guess, you know, sometimes that's how it goes. They picked Valentina, and she had a nickname, and that was Seagull. I mean, to me, that makes her way more badass because I love birds. But, so, they sent her on up into space, and, you know, things got a little wonky up there. She had to think on her toes. She had a little bit of a hard time up there. You know, it wasn't easy being in space, but she dealt with it. And there was another dude up in space too, and they were orbiting at the same time. She went around the planet like 48 times. She was up there for 3 days. And at one point during that flight, she got real close to the other dude that was in space, and they talked to each other on walkie-talkies when they was up there. And that's pretty funny. That's pretty cool. Can you imagine that? Walkie-talkies up in space? That'd be crazy. Oh yeah, things kind of went a little wrong, and she said that it was because of a programming error where on the way back down it would read it as ascend instead of descend, and she had to manually enter what to do. I think that's what it was. People said it was something different. People have different opinions about it, and I mean, it was classified for so long, so God only knows. But, you know, she came back down, and she was supposed to just sit tight and sit there and just wait so that they could, like, look at, like, how much she ate and how much she expelled. But she was so excited. She got out. She said hello to everybody. She gave people all her space food that she didn't eat. She wasn't supposed to do that. But she did that because she's such a badass. She wanted to make everybody feel special. After that, she did all kinds of cool stuff. She's a politician. That was also part of the reason that she got to go up there, because of her social involvement with things. But, you know, I think they saw that she was a badass, and they were like, we're going to put this woman up here because, holy crap, she's awesome. She got an education. She furthered her education, I should say. I mean, she was educated, but she got even more educated. And she's been doing stuff with science and space even now, even still today, right now. Right now, she's still kicking, still doing it. You know, you could look her up. You could read about her on Google. You could watch a documentary about it on YouTube. It's pretty cool to learn about a lady like that. And I decided to paint her for this competition. I hope I win. I mean, I hope I win. That would be cool, right? That would be cool. But even if I don't, you know, that's alright too. Because I enjoy doing this because, you know, I learned about her and everything. And I'm like, dude, this lady's awesome. I really like her a lot. And so I drew her, and I wanted her to still look like the other Kerbals. I wanted to draw her as a badass, so I put the Vostok 6 that she was in up there in there, and it had these like antenna looking things sticking out of it. So I painted her grabbing on one of them and holding on to it just as far out as it'll go. She ain't gonna let go of that thing now, but you know, she'll shimmy on up that antenna and get back in. And I drew her. I thought that photo of her where she's got her helmet on and she's like looking up and over, and man, that look in her, that expression in her eyes, I feel is so striking. And so I painted her gaze looking up and to the right, the way that photograph is, and I gave her blue eyes because she has blue eyes. And I thought that would, you know, put more emphasis on her gaze, because that's what I like so much about that picture. Just that look on her face, like damn, you know, that's so cool. I'll probably put a cap on her. I mean, I'm sure she could run some grease lightning through them luscious locks, keep that hair in place, but we'll see. But that's my entry, and that's a little bit about Valentina. I wanted to tell people about her because she's a badass and she's awesome, and I think everybody should know about her. And something to look up to, you know, she got to go into space because she's a badass, and she got to stay with that career because she had the opportunity to learn more about it, and she took it farther than she ever, you know, even needed to. She's got international recognition for being a badass. I mean, she's awesome. Read about her. That's something to live by. You know, you do the best you can with what you have, and look where it took her. Took her into space. So anyway, that's it. Wish me luck. You can keep tuning in. Don't tune out. This is Lil Katie peacing out.